She's got ribbons and paper, a cauldron of glue. With every creation, she's spooking the crew. The black cats purr and the witches all cheer for the magic she spins this time of year. Oh, Indiana Jones, you're the talk of the night, with your Halloween craft shining so bright. Bats and spiders and a ghostly delight. Indiana Jones keeps the season just right.
Hello my spooky friends, and welcome to my channel, and welcome to 1313 Mockingbird Lane, where my friends Dawn of Shabby Meets Bling and Monica of Up All Night DIY, as well as many other friends, have come together to share our favorites for Halloween DIYs. So this is Dollar Tree stackable pumpkins. These were originally $1.25. I bought them last year. I changed their colors and now I'm tired of it. So I'm just going to take them apart and start all over again. I am so inspired by retro vintage Halloween. That is one of my favorites besides the primitive style, but I definitely love the retro and vintage Halloween. You'll also see that my little Luna will step in for a moment and just have an initial inspection of my work so far. So what I'm doing here is I'm using you can use air dry clay. I'm using foam clay because I just think it's so much easier. It's easy to mold, but you can use just air dry clay, polymer, whatever it is that you would like to use. And what I'm doing is creating the facial features for this little pumpkin child, or I don't know, it's a spooky pumpkin. Why is it that those retro vintage designs sometimes are a little creepier than you think, right? They're still cute, but creepy cute. Anyway, here I'm just creating the mouth and the eyes, as you saw there, the cheeks, the eyebrows, and the little nose, just to make sure that it definitely has that retro vintage look that we've all really fallen in love with. So the bottom pumpkin is going to be a pumpkin. The second pumpkin I'm going to change into a cat, a black cat. I want to keep it in the original color scheme. It's black, orange, white, and yellow. So that's what you'll see here today. Now for this pumpkin that's going to be a cat, of course, I'm going to create some cute little pointy cat ears. And sometimes it looked a little batty. I don't know, maybe it's just me that I'm batty, but it looked a little like bat-like. So you can use a cat, or you can use a bat, or you can use a vat, or you can use a splat. Anyway, I'm sorry, I got into Dr. Seuss there for a minute. And if you want to create your cat or your bat, you have to create those cute little pointy ears. Now, I gave my cat sideburns like Elvis. I don't know what to call these, but I wanted whiskers for my cat. And of course, I didn't want to just put like sticks or anything as the whiskers. And I decided to incorporate it into the face of this cute little cat. I think it's so adorable so far. And I really love the way this all turned out. No, but for now, I'm just going to continue to use my clay and roll it out into the different areas that I need to decorate or design for this cute little pumpkin stack. Well, what do you think? I think my little pumpkin dude is coming out very cute, even though it's a cat. I should say my pumpkin cat. And now for this last little pumpkin, I thought it was a perfect shape to create one of those spooky ghosts that's kind of spooked out by Halloween. How does a ghost get spooked out by Halloween? I don't know, but this ghost did. So again, I'm going to add additional clay for all the facial features. I'm going to use E6000 to secure it. You don't have to slather it on or anything, but just put a dab or a dot just to make sure that it's secured in place. And that's basically what I did for this cute little pumpkin ghost. So if you have these pumpkin stacks, and you just want to spruce them up a little bit, instead of just painting them the regular colors and using them, why don't you create this cute little character of friends that get together on Halloween night? Now we're going to paint each pumpkin, and I'm using flat paint from Folk Art. But as I'm painting here, I just want to remind you, welcome to those who are new to my channel. I'm so glad you're here. And if you're enjoying this so far, I want to invite you to like, share, and subscribe so that you get all the updated notifications with regards to any new videos or any other information that I might share with you. So thank you again for coming in, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Now I'm going to paint the black cat, and as you can see, that brown clay gets covered right away. I would suggest to do at least 2 coats to make sure that you've covered everything. But that's basically all I'm going to do. Now begins the fun part where you actually are adding character by drawing in the details. But before we go there, let's have a kitty cat break and just enjoy Kuru's company with me on the craft room. Now I'm going to do the details on all of these characters, starting with our little ghost. And I forgot to show you this, but I changed that stem from a stem to one of those little cute curly cues that are so emblematic of the Johanna Parker little ghost. And of course, all the little details. And here now we're going to work on our pumpkin little face. I liked this. I really still do love the retro vintage Halloween look. As you know, recently I've taken on more of a primitive look, but this works very well, and I like having different rooms having different themes. Do you do that? Are you just a one theme kind of girl? You have the same theme all throughout your house, or do you change themes according to each room? Like, I mean, honestly, if I had the time and the money, like my kitchen would totally be like a practical magic kitchen. My dining room, I think I would have that as primitive, and my Florida room would be very retro vintage. And like I always said, someday I would love to have enough money to have an extra room in my house, to have one room always Halloween and have my Halloween collection and all of my Halloween projects in there, and another room all Christmas. Now, it doesn't mean it's just going to be decor in there. It means it's just going to be decorated that way. So it could be an office that's all Christmas, and it could be a bedroom that's all Halloween. So let's see, maybe someday, who knows? But for now, let's have fun with the seasons as they come along. Now, I have to warn you, I will have other videos for Halloween, but they're going to be older videos and older projects, simply because I have to get started on my Christmas projects. And I have to start decorating the Deering estate, which is a 100-year-old estate that I volunteer to decorate every Christmas. So I have to start working on that because I have to have it decorated before Thanksgiving. I love this creepy look of this pumpkin, but I think that's very, very on point with this, this Halloween retro vintage look. They always have these creepy smiles. I mean, it's cute, but creepy. Very creepy. When you look at costumes like back in the 1930s and 1940s, you're like, wow, these kids were scary. They were oof. They were scary. So now let's finish up with my cat. The cat was the hardest one simply because I had to paint like 4 or 5 times the yellow. I'm using all folk art paint, and I don't think that this was a matte paint, and I think that's what the problem was. Because if I had used, if I had used a matte paint or a chalk paint, I think it would have covered it right away. But either way, I think it turned out really, really cute. I love all these characters. And now those fins, or those sideburns as I like to say, that's where I have my little whiskers. So here I'm adding the whiskers in white. And again, I'm staying to the basic colors of black, orange, yellow, and white. And I think it makes such an impact and really perfectly matches all the retro vibes of these decor pieces. Now you'll have to wait for the final reveal so you can see them all stacked up together and how cute they turn out in my decor. So remember, stay for the final reveal. I love when I start cleaning up for a season. So I'm starting to clean up all of my Halloween stuff, and I come across things that I forgot that I had. such as those cardboard cutouts. Those were decorations for a classroom, believe it or not. And these pumpkins, these cupcake liners, pumpkin liners, no, they're cupcake liners. Look how wonderfully they match. And these adorable little vintage Halloween kids, and I believe that I got them all on Temu. So all I did was I cut the cupcake liner so that it would lie flat. I put it on top of that classroom decoration, and now I'm going to add on top of that the little child. And I think this is going to be so adorable to make a little banner. And I always like to have banners in different places in different rooms, but this is so easy to do. Even if you don't have those cardboard cutouts, you can make them yourself. And I'm sure you have, paper hanging around that's Halloweeny like. And even if you don't have those cutouts from Temu, you can find so many vintage images in places such as the Graphics Fairy, absolutely free. Print them out on cardboard, stock paper, I should say, or just regular paper, and then you could put it on some kind of cardboard, and I think this will look just fine. And you can make a whole set of them and then make a little banner. I think this works out so well. You could also include these in a wreath. That's another way. If you haven't done your wreath yet for Halloween, here's a fast and easy way to take a regular wreath. It could be a grapevine wreath. Add these, add some, black and white or orange ribbon, and you are set. Just stay in the same color scheme. And this is just another wonderful way to decorate for Halloween, especially last minute and low budget. As I said before, I'm cleaning out my craft room because I have to switch out from Halloween to Christmas. And I bump into these 3 cute little faces, and I don't know why I hadn't used them earlier in the season, but these are actually napkins that I got on Temu the year before last. And I literally use 1 napkin a year. So these are going to last quite a bit because each napkin has 4 little faces. Now, I thought this was just 2-ply, and I found out later that it's actually 3-ply. The easiest way to take off those extra plies of napkins, see, that one didn't come off. The easiest way to take them off, if they don't come off, is just like that one just did, is just to use 2 pieces of tape, and that will pull off the extra ply without ripping it. Now I'm just going to cut the different little faces. I'm going to need 2 faces of each design, so 2 faces of each design. And I'm just going to make a little hanging element. You can make these into ornaments. Once again, you can use these and use these on a wreath. There's so many different ways you can use this. So the fabric that I have behind them, and there's Kuru again making an observation of what I'm doing and getting into her little cubby. So what I'm using is this muslin, I guess, kind of fabric, and it's just white muslin, and I'm just actually Mod Podging them onto the fabric. And I'm going to use my iron so that I can make sure that there's no wrinkles. But for right now, because there's a thin layer, I'm just plopping them down. And you can do this with any napkin. If you find a fun napkin, it doesn't have to be exactly these. But putting them on muslin, it makes it easy to work with. And you can either sew them, or you can even look how cute these are. And I thought about it after, but I wish I had more time. The time escapes me during these burr months, but these would look so cute on a t-shirt or on a canvas bag. Can you imagine how adorable these would be on a plain canvas bag that you can buy them for practically nothing at Michael's, or $2.99, I think. And you can make this into a trick-or-treat bag, double-sided, because you have 2 little faces to go on either side. But I'm just going to make, I guess, ornaments, or just like ornaments, you can call them. And once again, I'm just gluing them or Mod Podging them to the muslin. I'm not putting too much Mod Podge because I don't want it to get too wrinkly, but I am going to use an iron as I'm using here. And all I'm doing is using an iron, using some parchment paper, and that gets rid of most of the wrinkles and also makes sure that it's firmly attached to the fabric. And I just love the way these turned out. And you saw the little kitty cat ears coming in. So that is Kuru, who is making sure she's our quality control cat for the day. And she's making sure that these little pumpkins are just affixed perfectly so we can start our next step. Now I'm just using a glue gun, but you can sew these if you'd like. So I'm just gluing the bottom of the pumpkins. I'm leaving the top where the stem is open because I'm going to stuff these. I'm going to make like little mini pillows out of these cute little pumpkins. And again, you can use this as decor anywhere. Hang them on your Christmas tree, or you can hang them on a wreath. Or what I'm going to do is just add the 3 of them together, put them on string, and then I'm going to just hang them from just a door hanger, just a simple door hanger. And I think they just look so adorable. I think this fits in with both retro and the retro vintage Halloween vibe, as well as the primitive vibe. And if you need to make some last minute Halloween projects for like a church sale or a bazaar or anything that you have, these are pretty fast and easy to make. And again, you can use them in so many ways. You can also instead of gluing them from the bottom of the pumpkin, glue them from the top of the pumpkin, and then you can put a skewer or a dowel at the bottom of the pumpkin, and you can use this as decor for your bouquets or your centerpieces, or even for assemblages. There's so many ways you can use these cute little stuffed pumpkins. And here is our final reveal. I hope you liked everything.
Pumpkins on the porch, glowing gold. Raggedy ghosts sway, shiver in the cold. Leaves whisper secrets to the biting air. A witch hat's tossed, forgotten, near the rocking chair. Oh, pumpkins and raggedy ghosts, witch hats by the fire, where shadows boast, black cats cozy, curled up tight. Halloween's here, under the moon's pale light.
I want to thank the mastermind, the evil mastermind for this playlist. Dawn of Shabby Meets Bling and Monica of Up All Night DIY, my dear friends and amazing creators, as well as all the other wonderful creators that have joined us on this first time open playlist for Mockingbird Lane. Thanks again for stopping by, and if you enjoyed this, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, stay safe. Be kind. God bless each and every one of you, and remember to live the adventure. And I will see you in my next adventure very, very soon.